Let us talk about civic education. This subject is different from others because it affects how you live every day. It is about your rights, your duties, and your role in your country. In your exams, civic education questions come from topics like citizenship, democracy, human rights, and national values. We will cover all of them. This is topic 1. We are discussing citizenship. It appears every year. By the end of this lesson, you will understand what citizenship means, how someone becomes a citizen, what rights you have, and what duties you must perform. Pay attention, take notes. Let us go. First, what is citizenship? Citizenship is the legal relationship between a person and a country. A citizen is a person who is recognised by a country as a member of that country. Citizens have certain rights that non-citizens do not have. For example, citizens can vote, run for office, and live in the country permanently. Citizens also have duties that non-citizens do not have. For example, citizens may be required to serve in the military or pay taxes. Citizenship is important because it gives people a sense of belonging. It also gives people the right to participate in the governance of their country. There are 2 main ways to acquire citizenship: citizenship by birth and citizenship by registration or naturalization. Citizenship by birth is the most common way. A person is a citizen by birth if they are born in a country or if their parents are citizens of that country. In Nigeria, there are 2 types of citizenship by birth. A person born in Nigeria before or after independence, whose parents or grandparents are citizens of Nigeria, is a citizen by birth. A person born outside Nigeria, whose parents are citizens of Nigeria, is also a citizen by birth. Citizenship by registration is for people who are not citizens by birth but want to become citizens. A person can apply for citizenship by registration if they have lived in the country for a certain number of years, usually 15 years for non-Commonwealth citizens and 5 years for Commonwealth citizens. They must be of good character. They must intend to live in the country permanently. They must speak a local language. They must have a job or means of support. The government can also grant citizenship by registration to a woman who marries a citizen or to a child adopted by citizens. Citizenship by naturalization is similar to registration, but for people who do not qualify for registration. The requirements are stricter. The applicant must have lived in the country for at least 15 years. They must have contributed to the development of the country. They must be accepted by their local community. They must swear an oath of allegiance. Citizenship can also be lost in certain circumstances. A citizen can renounce their citizenship voluntarily. A citizen can be deprived of citizenship if they obtained it by fraud, if they have been disloyal to the country, or if they have been sentenced to prison for a serious crime. Now, let me explain the rights of citizens. Rights are the things that citizens are entitled to. They are protected by law. The government cannot take them away except under certain conditions. Rights are often divided into different categories. Political rights include the right to vote, the right to be voted for, the right to join a political party, and the right to hold public office. These rights allow citizens to participate in the government of their country. Civil rights include the right to life, the right to liberty, the right to a fair trial, the right to freedom of speech, the right to freedom of assembly, and the right to freedom of movement. These rights protect citizens from the government. They ensure that the government treats people fairly. Economic rights include the right to own property, the right to work, the right to form trade unions, and the right to engage in business. These rights allow citizens to earn a living and improve their lives. Social rights include the right to education, the right to healthcare, the right to housing, and the right to social security. These rights ensure that all citizens have access to basic services. In Nigeria, these rights are protected by the Constitution. Chapter 4 of the Nigerian Constitution lists the fundamental rights of every citizen. If the government violates these rights, citizens can go to court to enforce them. However, rights are not absolute. They have limits. Your right to freedom of speech does not give you the right to tell lies that harm someone's reputation. Your right to freedom of assembly does not give you the right to block traffic or incite violence. Your rights end where another person's rights begin. The government can also limit rights in the interest of public safety, public order, public health, or national security. For example, during a curfew, your right to free movement may be restricted to prevent crime. Now, let me explain the duties and obligations of citizens. Duties are the things that citizens are expected to do. Obligations are the things that citizens must do by law. There is a relationship between rights and duties. You cannot enjoy your rights without also fulfilling your duties. The first duty of a citizen is to obey the law. This is the most basic obligation. Citizens must follow the laws of their country. If they do not, they can be punished. The second duty is to pay taxes. Taxes pay for roads, schools, hospitals, police, and other public services. Citizens who do not pay taxes are cheating their fellow citizens. The third duty is to defend the country. When the country is at war, citizens may be called to serve in the military. Even in peacetime, citizens can serve in other ways, such as in the police or civil defence. The fourth duty is to vote in elections. Voting is both a right and a duty. Citizens who do not vote are giving up their voice in how the country is run. The fifth duty is to be loyal to the country. This does not mean agreeing with everything the government does. It means putting the interests of the country above your own interests when necessary. Other duties of citizens include respecting the rights of others, protecting public property, keeping the environment clean, assisting in law enforcement by reporting crimes, serving as witnesses in court when called, and serving on juries. Some countries require jury service, others do not. In Nigeria, there is no jury system, but citizens may be called to serve as assessors in certain cases. Now, let me explain the importance of citizenship. Citizenship is important for several reasons. First, it gives people a sense of identity and belonging. Citizens feel connected to their country and to each other. Second, it gives people the right to participate in government. Citizens can vote, run for office, and express their opinions. Third, it gives people legal protection. Citizens cannot be deported. They have the right to live in the country permanently. Fourth, it creates a sense of responsibility. Citizens know that they have a stake in the success of their country. They are more likely to work hard, obey the law, and contribute to their communities. Citizenship also promotes national unity. When people identify as citizens of the same country, they are more likely to work together. They are less likely to fight along ethnic or religious lines. Citizenship education is important because it teaches young people what it means to be a citizen. It teaches them their rights and responsibilities. It prepares them to participate in the democratic process. A common exam question asks you to explain the meaning of citizenship and how it can be acquired. Here is a sample answer. Citizenship is the legal relationship between a person and a country. A citizen has rights that non-citizens do not have and duties that non-citizens do not have. Citizenship can be acquired by birth or by registration. Citizenship by birth is for people born in the country or born to citizen parents. Citizenship by registration is for people who apply after meeting certain requirements, such as residence, good character, and knowledge of a local language. Another exam question asks you to list the rights of citizens. Here is your answer. The rights of citizens include political rights, like the right to vote and run for office. They include civil rights, like the right to life, liberty, fair trial, free speech, assembly, and movement. They include economic rights, like the right to own property, work, form unions, and do business. They include social rights like the right to education, healthcare, housing, and social security. These rights are protected by the Constitution. Another exam question asks you to explain the duties and obligations of citizens. Here is your answer. The duties of citizens include obeying the law, paying taxes, defending the country, voting in elections, and being loyal to the country. Other duties include respecting the rights of others, protecting public property, keeping the environment clean, and assisting in law enforcement. These duties are necessary for the country to function properly. Citizens who fulfill their duties help to build a better society. Let us quickly go over what we have learned. Citizenship is the legal bond between a person and a country. You can become a citizen by birth or by registration. Your rights include voting, free speech, and a fair trial. Your duties include obeying the law, paying taxes, and defending your country. That is what you need for your exam. Practice these points until you can say them without looking at your notes. When you are ready, move to topic 2.